And it's another edition of CBFC Damayan. This is Sugar minus Spice. She's off tonight. And guys, we're so lucky and so blessed this evening that we have a special guest, none other than the lady known because of her, she's the operations manager, guys, of Cayman Island Cancer Society. None other than the beautiful Miss Jennifer Weber. I need to redo it.
Yeah, redo the intro.
Make sure to call me beautiful again. I like
Oh,
that
of
part.
course.
And I'm gonna be the spice, I guess, for tonight.
Yes.
I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah. I can do that. Okay. Let me know. Hi. Good evening again. Good evening. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It's another edition of the Mayan CBFC. I'm Sugar here, but I have another spice beside me, none other than the beautiful lady of Cayman Islands Cancer Society, Miss Jennifer Weber.
Wow, what a nice introduction. I'm
Of
spicy
course.
and beautiful. I
Of
like this.
course.
Thank
Not
you.
only salt and pepper, but spicy and sugary. Okay. The reason why we are here, guys, we've been doing a lot of fundraising and donation drive and all these things, and we always paired with the Cancer Society of the Cayman Islands. Since we have started, Dion and some of the officers always say we should give to Cancer Society. In fact, the very first donation that the organization gave is to the Cancer Society because we know and we recognize the help that this organization or this group have done to the community, not only to the locals, but they also extended it to the expats and also to the Filipinos. So it's our way of giving back. It's our way of also saying maraming salamat, which is thank you very much, not only to Miss Jen, but also to the whole family of the CICS. And of course, we are here. Maybe she can give us a little brief of what Cayman Island Cancer Society is.
Sure. Well, I have to say thank you so much for such a nice introduction. The Cancer Society has always been very, very fortunate to have such wonderful support from the Filipino community. There isn't any other group on island that is so well organized and has such a large number of people who can turn out to support. I remember back in the old days, the first time that donations were made, and we so appreciate those donations. But also, the Filipino community has done so much for us, not only with donations, but with donations of time and volunteer service. This beautiful garden that we're in right now is the site of the Cancer Society, and is the beautiful work of so many people in the Filipino community.
We're not even finished.
Well, little by little, everybody has come around, and I think every plant was placed, and every bit of pressure run, and everything was brought here with love and donations, and planted by the Filipino community. That just is amazing for us, and so we're so grateful for that support. And also for events and things like that. We know that if we call the Filipino community, if we make one call, we get at least 30 volunteers.
Yes.
And that's such a big help to us because as a charity, you can imagine, when we need help, we need a lot of help. And it's so much better to be able to call one contact person and then that group shows up than to have to make 30 telephone calls and coordinate everybody's schedules.
Filipinos are like, we congregate a lot.
Yes.
So just one phone call to one of us, and then it's like it has a network.
Yes.
So but it's innate to us Filipinos also, like we have what we call utang na loob, which is like debt of gratitude. And we have this it's innate with us, and we always encounter or experience calamities and all these things, so we immediately feel those people that are really in need. So we try to draw to ourselves towards helping also. If you see like if there are beach cleanup, you can see Filipinos also doing it. So we volunteer most of the time. Plus, we don't have our families here. So, the best way to do your, extra time or your free time is to volunteer. Guys, that's the best way to do it. It's really nice to, like, from my own experience and from the experience of the other officers of the group, it really feels good.
Well, and I can tell you from our side, as the recipients of all of this extra free volunteer labor, it makes a huge difference to what we can do in the community. Because if we have to do everything by ourselves, we can't do much. But with the help of so many people in the community, we can do so much for others. And while people are taking care of our landscaping, we can take care of the patients. While you're off doing food sales or whatever you're doing to raise money, we can use that money then to turn around and be able to help the people who need it the most. So on behalf of the whole organization, the board, the staff, and most importantly, the people who exist to serve, thank you to you and all the Filipinos who help us help others every day.
Well, we also thank you also for receiving us and for making us feel welcome as well. And we enjoyed it. Like the last year's strike, all of us woke up like before 4 o'clock, and we were there and chopping all. But we enjoyed it, and we always find time to just laugh. And it's the bonding, I think, and it's the camaraderie, and it's the just enjoying the moment, and it's your free day. Well, it's nice. Yeah.
Well, in answer to your question about the Cancer Society, sort of who we are and what we do, I could literally talk all night about the Cancer Society because it's very near and dear to my heart. But
How long have you been here?
So I think it's on Valentine's Day.
Oh.
It will be 11 years.
Wow. So that really comes from the heart.
Well, I love this job. I love this organization.
It shows.
Well, thank you. And it's a wonderful place to be, and I've always felt fortunate to be able to be here. So the Cancer Society has been growing and changing for a lot of years. We've been around for more than 25 years. We were established in 1995, so it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And because we are a charity that exists to serve the public, that means that what we do has been adapting and changing to meet the needs of the public we exist to serve over the years.
Yeah.
For example, when I started 11 years ago, we were just starting to do direct financial aid for patients who are impacted by cancer. And so now, as we think about what the Cancer Society does, it's the main thing that we do.
Yeah.
So we currently have at least 400 families that we have helped or are currently helping by providing financial aid. And it's hard for me to say exactly how many because sometimes some family might or some person might come to us and say, oh, I had a mammogram of my breast and now I need to have an ultrasound or a biopsy. My insurance won't pay for those things. I don't have the money to pay for those things for us. And we have a financial aid application process. People go through that process. It's anonymous, and after people supply all that, if they qualify for financial aid, then we will pay for those things for people. And sometimes it's good news. Sometimes people have those tests and they come back and they say, oh, it's not cancer.
And they volunteer.
And then sometimes they volunteer, that's true. But sometimes, so that means that it's one time, one off, a little bit of financial aid and they're done.
Yeah.
But other times with other patients, sometimes the results come back and yes, it's cancer. And that means that sometimes we're helping that person or that family for 1, 2, 5, 10 years.
Yeah.
And so when people say, how many patients are you helping?
Well,
it's hard to put our hands around. And also sometimes we're helping, maybe we're providing direct assistance to the person who's been impacted with cancer. But if that's the head of a family, for example, there's a whole group of people who are impacted by that cancer. And so we're providing assistance maybe with things for like rent and light and food and water. In addition to medical expenses, and so do we count those people as people we're helping? So anyway, so it's kind of it's hard to put our hands around the numbers, but it's a lot.
But imagine helping so much people, and this is not financed by the government. This is not financed by a big corporation, and you're going towards your 30 years.
Right, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that because I think a lot of people assume, you gave me goosebumps actually, a lot of people assume that we receive government funding. Now, the Cayman Islands government here has a lot of people asking them for help and support. I understand that, and there's limited funds.
Yes.
And so we are a very fortunate organization that because we have been around for a long time, we can kind of stand on our own 2 feet. We do not receive any funding from government. We're one of the only charities who's that way. Many of the other charities are quick to say, understandably, that they don't receive much funding.
Yes, yes.
They receive some, but it's never
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
We receive zero. And so that means that we have to stand on our own 2 feet, and all of our money comes from donations and fundraising.
Yes, yes.
If we're not asking or organizing ways to get it, or our volunteers aren't helping us, we don't have the money.
I don't know what's with the Cancer Society, but everybody seems to be drawn to it. Like I can even you can just even relate. Like even the number of people that joins the strike, like it's the biggest last year. Every paper you can see it.
You're gonna make me cry on camera. It's
Imagine, like I was even having like you goosebumps when I read it. Like seriously, it's already 2000. Like I was there, like or maybe I'm just busy, like distributing the tags and all and the shirts. I didn't even realize that I distributed that much.
And last year's vibe was so great, right? Because it was
yeah.
after COVID.
Yes.
And people really wanted to be together. And
They-
once they came together, they didn't want to leave. And the police were telling me, Jennifer, they have to go home. And I kept
Yeah.
saying, okay, turn off the music. Everybody
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
go.
yeah.
But people were so happy to be
Yes,
together with
yes,
that happy
yes.
feeling and knowing that they've been united in the fight against cancer.
Yeah.
It could be a very somber event if people only turned out to think about the loved ones that they've lost or the
Yes.
sadness of
Yes,
the cancer
yes.
and how it's impacted our community.
Yeah.
But it's the opposite. People love to get together and show their support, and it's a really happy time. People look forward to that event
And
every year.
not only that, like Cancer Society have different kinds of fundraising. Like you have Stride, which is a marathon. You have also the gala, which is like people who are into this and who are not really on a sporty kind of nature.
Whether you're glamorous or sporty
Yeah,
or into
they can
whatever.
go anywhere because it's you have it, and then with the continuous, I don't know, maybe you have also like information dissemination. People gets to be like when you ask them why do you want to volunteer at Cancer Society, like it must be really like because I think the reason is people in this community sees and they know that you're really helpful. Like what you've said, aside from the finances, you also bring awareness to the community, like like awareness of the importance of having mammogram check and having tests and
TSA tests.
yes, all these things. Like it's like every time, and then there are a lot of companies also that we see that they support the Cancer Society. I think because they know and they know that it's going to a good cause.
Right.
Yeah.
I frequently hear from people that, and it seems like everybody knows somebody who's been helped by the Cancer Society.
I think so.
And because our process of financial aid and help is anonymous, I frequently have people coming up to me and say, hey, you helped my friend, or that was my helper,
Yeah.
or that was my cousin.
Yeah.
And I have to have sort of a neutral face, and I always have to. They say, oh, they have cancer, and I have to say, oh, whether we have, I know or don't know that person, I can't really say because it's an anonymous process. But please know that if anybody has cancer, they should always come to us. We can't be everything to everyone every time, but we can always help everyone in some way.
Yeah.
We're a need-based charity, so just because somebody has cancer doesn't mean we're going to pay the bills. I wish we had enough funds to do
Yes.
everything for everyone, but for now, and historically, since we started our financial aid program, it's need-based. So it has to be that people meet particular criteria, and just because we can or can't help people with just that particular aspect doesn't mean we can't do other things.
Yes.
Like sometimes people, maybe they have enough insurance and they have enough finances to be able to get through their cancer, but maybe they just need a little bit of support, so we can
Yeah.
help with things like counseling or peer
Yes.
support, or we can do that outreach program. Sometimes those things are oftentimes people, they get through their cancer, they feel like they're saying they want to give back, and as soon as they get better, they want to get involved and do things so that they can help.
Cut mo na rin. Wait, kunin ko lang yung ilaw din.
It's going to get the lights.
Naka-live tayo. We are on live.
Okay.
Say hi.
We're
Hi.
taking a break because the ice cream man's music came
We're
on.
having ice cream. Dion is going to buy us ice cream. Hi, guys.
Ate Sunny is here. You know, Miss Jen, guys. Yeah.
And look, it's
Look.
wearing the Cayman Islands Cancer Society stride shirt. And the hot new thing about this logo is that this year, for the first time, there's a mask
Face mask.
on the little purple guy.
Okay.
So this is the new thing. These shirts are very collectible. People love these shirts and love to have them, and they collect them year after year. But this year is different in two ways. It's the mask, and instead of having the word nationwide, we now have unified. Because we want people to know that we are all in this together, that we've come together. So whether you're going to be doing this event at 7 Mile Beach or North Side or in Cayman Brac or in Little Cayman, we are a unified country showing our support for the fight against cancer.
All right.
So, since it's a big event, we also need more volunteers. Guys, put that in your calendar and wait for our advice, because we will be giving you schedules for the upcoming activities and whatever. Maybe you can show the back of Miss Jen while I'm announcing, so we can give you the schedules for the activities pre.
You can read it. You can read it.
yeah,
The
the
sponsor.
Well, one thing I wanted to make sure that everybody sees is that
Ice.
at the top it says
I strive for.
and then there's a line.
Yes.
That line is there so that people can write the name of their friend or their loved one or the Cayman community, whatever they
Yeah.
want to do,
Yeah.
to make a team, and then everybody can feel
It also makes them feel like involved.
Right.
It makes them feel.
it's personal, right?
Yes, personal. Yeah, that's the right word. Yeah, it makes them feel very personal. Like if you have a brother also who's struggling, or a mother that is struggling, it's a strive for her, you know. It's a strive for them.
And some people like to say, I strive for me. And
Yeah.
then their friends rally around them
Yeah.
and they feel really supported.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's people who are currently engaged in the fight against cancer. And sometimes they're celebrating an anniversary of their survivorship.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
this line is very powerful for people. So we hope people will get the shirt and
Bring your
and use
markers.
it. Yes. But be very careful. If you're going to be writing on the back of your shirt, make sure you put a piece of newspaper or a magazine between the layers. Because if you use a marker, a permanent marker, a
Yeah.
Sharpie marker, it's a rookie mistake if we see spots on the
Yes.
front of
Oh
the
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
because that shows that you haven't done this before. So make sure you put some papers in between
Before,
the layers,
yeah.
and then you can write on the back, and you won't have anything bleed through to the other
Okay.
side.
Yeah.
These are the top tips of the Cancer Society.
Everybody will be excited to have that shirt.
And can I encourage everybody? Can I encourage everybody to please follow us on social media? So we want everyone to please go on Facebook and like us. Our Facebook address is Cayman Islands Cancer Society. It's all spelled out, 4 words. And if you're an Instagram person, our handle is C.I.C.S. CICS with periods in between. And that's where we have lots of great information. We have stories and we have things that are going to make you laugh or make you smile, maybe make you, I don't know, a little bit sad sometimes. It
Or
just
make you
depends.
volunteer.
Yes, but there's always things going on, and it's a great way to keep up with us and what's happening in the office.
Okay, guys, we're back again with, of course, Miss Jen. Now we're going to talk about upcoming event. We have actually 2, one for the January and then the other one for February. But Miss Jen, can we talk about Stride
We
first?
can.
The famous Stride of the Cayman Islands.
I feel like I can talk about Stride in my sleep. This is the 11th Stride that we've organized, and everyone knows this logo. They call it iconic.
Yes.
It's a yellow caution triangle for crossing the street, and the purple guy.
Yeah.
It's purple because purple or lavender is the color of to show support for all cancers. Like most people know that pink is for breast cancer,
yeah.
blue is for prostate cancer. Purple or lavender is the one that shows support for all cancers.
The overall,
Right.
The umbrella of all the cancer
Exactly.
color. So
So this
purple. That's why I mean.
So this event has been happening for a long time. We've had this logo since I think 2005.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who collect these shirts year after year.
My husband do.
Is that right?
Yes. He has the sleeveless. He have the, and he's so happy last year that I was able to get him the yellow one.
Oh, nice. The
Yes.
volunteer.
Yeah, the volunteer shirt.
That's special.
So he said, Oh, and I told him that I'm going to do again 2022 volunteering. He said, don't forget my shirt.
Yeah, so this year's the special one
Yes.
because it has the mask.
Mhm.
We haven't had this before, and everybody who's seen it has
Yes.
smiled and said, "Oh, it's cute." So it's
Yeah.
the one time I think that the COVID mask makes us happy,
Yeah.
because it comes across as
Mhm.
cute. And the other thing is that we changed it from nationwide stride to unified stride because we're all in this together.
Yes.
But stride is going to be Sunday, January 30th. It's always the last Sunday of January.
Yeah.
It's early in the morning, and thanks to the Filipino community and lots of other people who have helped through the years, we have fruit cutters that come out,
Of course.
start chopping up all of those fruits,
Yeah.
the oranges and the bananas and the watermelons to get everything ready.
And to help the traffic also.
Right. We have people come out to get everything ready so that we can have all of our striders
Yeah.
come and get that great feeling of starting at Public Beach and doing what we call the big stride,
Yeah.
either the quarter marathon or the half marathon. So big stride is the one that takes place at 7 Mile Beach. It is
Okay.
the largest place where everybody gathers, and this stride event is the biggest walk-run event in the Cayman Islands.
Everybody's looking forward
Oh,
to it.
good. It's bigger than a marathon. It's bigger than anything.
The
And last
biggest-
year,
yeah.
we did. We topped. I think it was 2,100 and something. I don't
Yeah,
remember
something,
exactly.
yeah.
But it was astonishing how many people turned out. And you might recall that last year, because of COVID, we had restrictions for outdoor events. We didn't have community spread then.
Yeah.
But they asked us to keep it at 1,000 people or less. And I'll tell you, when I saw Dr. Lee
Yeah.
coming up and the governor
The
walking
governor
up
also.
and saying to me, "Oh, Jennifer, looks like there might be more than 1,000 people." And the sun was coming up. I started saying, "Ha ha, off you go, everyone."
Yeah, yeah.
Only 999 people. Because honestly, we had so many people turn up.
Yeah.
So we did 2 sessions of 1,000
Yeah,
people,
1,000,
and
yeah.
then the stragglers left as well.
Yeah.
So it was the best ever, and we're hoping for a great turnout again this year.
Yeah.
So there are two lengths of race. It's from Public Beach, so of course it's from Public Beach down to the wharf. Turn around and come back. That is 6.5 miles. It's long, so that's a quarter marathon. The other one for the people who are really serious about being in shape and people who want to run.
Yeah.
They can time themselves, and that is a half marathon. So it's 13.1 miles. Starts at Public Beach, and it goes all the way down to South Sound by San Sebastian.
Yeah.
Turn around and come back. I can barely drive that far with my car, so I can't imagine that people run it, but they do it every year.
Oh yeah.
And so there are those, two distances. So if you come to what we call Big Stride, that's 7 Mile Beach, there are two. Then you go to North Side. North Side is one distance, and it's about 6.5 miles. Then there's one in the Rack, and in the Rack, it's a little bit shorter, and then in Little Cayman, there's also one. So we have little things going on, but everyone's welcome to come and turn up, and they can participate
Guys,
or
even if
volunteer.
you're in the ground, even if
Yeah.
you're in Little Cayman, enjoy the stride.
Right, because we're unified and everyone
Yes.
wears the shirt and everybody sends up positive thoughts for the people that they know and love. And I think at the end of the day, everyone's tired, sweaty, and hot, but we're happy.
Yes, what's happy. You know, I was driving from Public Beach all the way up to Perks.
Yes.
You can see the people like they're just. When I read the paper the following day, that's what it happened.
Yeah.
But all of the people, if you, I think it's the whole page of the newspaper.
It was, yeah.
All the pictures were there. Happy pictures, like I said, oh my God, like it's nice to see, especially after that lockdown.
Right.
And then, you know, you can see people coming out, getting together, and then they're seeing their friends while walking, like, hi, how are you? And, you know, like,
And another nice thing about Stride is families, even that live here, everybody's busy. They don't get a chance to come together and do like exercise or do something outdoors. And so a lot of families, get together once a year and they do the Stride together to remember family members or even to thank God that they don't have any family members who have been impacted by cancer. Corporate groups do it, groups of friends. I know some moms, I'll confess, who cheat every year. They tell their husbands, "Oh, I'm going to do this for charity," so that the husbands will stay home and watch the children.
yeah.
And then they come and they
With their
show
groups.
up. Yeah, they come up with their group and they start
With
and then
their
they walk
older girlfriends.
Yeah, they walk they all the girlfriends together and they walk straight to the Marriott and they go have coffee. Oh, that's fine because it's not about completing the race. It's not about being a race. It's not about being time. It's about turning up to show your support, and it has a huge impact. And people always feel so good being a part of something like that. Sometimes it's emotional for people,
think it's mistried that we should like, maybe it's, should I say the flag bearer of,
Yeah.
in CI, Cancer Society, because like, you don't even have to advertise it. It's the word of mouth, the people that like, imagine the people that joined us.
Right.
Everybody has are thinking about that for the past like 12, 11 months.
Yeah.
So you're expecting them to be there
Right.
again this year.
We need them to be there
Of
because
course,
this
they